Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second part of my gaming journals. So today we are starting a new game, hopefully a game that I will be a lot less frustrated about. This one I chose 80 Days to be my second game to play, mainly because it seemed to be a lot more of an interactive story rather than heavy on puzzle solving. I think you make decisions throughout your journey of going around the world, but it's nothing super heavy, just kind of fun, and nothing super strenuous or tough to solve. So that's why I mainly picked it. We'll see if those assumptions are correct. Hopefully they are. I am relatively excited. All right, the game has started. London, 1872. I have entered into the service of a new gentleman. It would seem he is a gambling man. All right, let's see if I can do this. I'm excited. I just wanted an easier game than Edith Finch that I got really frustrated on with the game mechanics and such. And the topic was just the whole story is really heavy and such. So, all right, right now it's just going through all the credits. Since this is the first time I'm queuing it up, exciting stuff. 80 days. So it's based on the Jules Verne novel, which I already suspected, but alright, what are they saying? Okay, so I can take screenshots. Alright, so it's telling me to click on London. Alright, we are beginning in London. I don't know if it'll actually have dialogue. Nope, it does not. So I'll have to read it out loud. Monsieur Phileas Fogg returned home early from the Reform Club and in a newfangled steam carriage besides. I helped him down, and the iron-lugged, steam-driven horses clattered away. Passport, he said. We are going around the world. I'm going to ask around. Okay, so I have two options, either around the world, monsieur, or a very good monsieur. I'm going to ask a question. Around the world, monsieur? I asked, utterly astonished. We will circumnavigate the globe within 80 days. He was quite calm as he proposed this wild scheme. We leave for Paris on the 8:25 in an hour. This was a shocking turnabout. You are in a jest, but I have not prepared. I'm going to say you are in a jest. You are in a jest, I told him in a dignified affront. You make mock of me, monsieur. I'm quite serious. Pack an altimeter and an evening jacket. There is not a moment to waste. You pass part out. Now you have funds. Your character is now polished. Okay. New routes discovered. All right, so I need a pack. There was a moment to seize anything further. I thought that might be useful for our long trip. So, oh, wow. Oh. What? Where can I put? All right, I'm done packing. Now what do I do? New routes discovered. I complete English. Yes, sir. Onward. All right. A lot of routes discovered. I already packed, right? Yes, I did. All right, we are departing. So we are embarking to Paris. All right. So we're going to Paris. Is there any way to speed up the travel process? Oh, here we go. The mechanical horses raced past Piccadilly Circus and Pall Mall faster than a team of thoroughbreds. Even so, the whistle of the 2:25 was blowing as we pulled up to the Charing Cross station. "We have no tickets," I exclaimed. Okay, so I can choose between "we have no tickets" or "we race along the concourse and threw ourselves on board." I'm going to say we threw ourselves on board. We raced along the concourse and threw ourselves aboard as the second whistle shrieked its warning. We barely had time to take our seats before the guard rapped smartly on the compartment door. He held out a hand. "Tickets, please." Oh, I should have said we don't have tickets. Let's go. I'm gonna say we're pretending we lost them. I pretend to have lost them, patting down one pocket and then the other. I was about to start digging through our suitcases when Monsieur Fogg interrupted my touching performance. "My valet is trying to express that we were in too much of a haste to purchase tickets," he said, no doubt intending to chastise me, which was not at all my meaning. And I tried to alter my mime. Man, am I gonna like this dude or not? What are we picking? So far, I seem to be taking the path of I don't like him. But I'm gonna say which is not all my meaning. He said, which was not at all my meaning, and left me rather in doubt of my master's interpretive abilities. He was not a particular theatrical man, it must be said. "You may purchase them from me," the guard was saying, "though it is more expensive, I am afraid. £85, please." Do I argue with him or do I hand over? I need to conserve money, but also if I argue with him, he could just throw me out of the train. I'll hand over the £85. I handed over £85 and smiled a thin smile from one working man to another. The guard gave me our tickets and slid the compartment door shut behind him with a pneumatic hiss. Your funds have gone down somewhat. All right, let's converse. Begin conversation. We'll talk about the journey. "Tell me, monsieur, what is the purpose of our journey? We have made a hefty wager, and I do not intend to lose." All right, talk about money. "This journey will be most expensive, monsieur." "Indeed, but we can earn a little by buying and selling our possessions as we travel." Very good. All right, that is all I can do, so I guess we will just... So London swell gave way to rolling hills and the pastures of the Kentish countryside, still untouched by the hand of technological advancement. Monsieur Fogg read his paper whilst I repacked our bags. We passed the day in silence. I'll say he read the paper while I repacked our bags. I repacked our bags, thrown together in haste and confusion. As afternoon turned inexorably to evening, I discovered that my master was one of those gentlemen who broke their silence rarely, if at all. A guard rapped on our door. A few miles before Dover. "We are about to submerge," he warned. Take some people a bit funny, so watch out." "What do you mean submerge? But it is safe, is it not? Very good. I'm wondering what submerge means." "What do you mean submerge?" I cried. "This is the London to Paris Amphitrite Express," he explained, as though to a particularly dim-witted child. "The submersible train? Talk of all London papers?" I said. "Then this is the Mer train?" I exclaimed. He made a face. "Bloody journalists and their silly names," he muttered. "Every inch of her has been examined and stamped with the artificer's seals. This is the world's only bathyscaphe locomotive." I pressed my face to the window glass. As the fins above the Amphitrite's wheels extended with a hydraulic hiss, night fell and we plunged past the end of the track into the freezing water of the English Channel. "Your relationship with Fogg has improved slightly." Yeah, I did not make a good impression. I guess I probably need to if we're going to be traveling companions. Oopsies. Bro, I already like this game. Sorry I have to read so much, but obviously the dialogue is not spoken, so I will be the reader. The amphitrite plunged through the water overnight and splashed up into the wider gauged French tracks at Calais as dawn broke. Do you have a right in mind, monsieur? I began to consider what might require for our journey. I'll ask if we have a right in mind. I asked as the water of the channel dried from the compartment windows. I am as yet undecided, my master admitted. The new channel has sped up the shipping routes from the Suez to Bombay, though perhaps we could take the Trans-Siberian Railway across Russia. I can either say surely not Bombay or surely not Siberia. I'm going to say Siberia because it's cold. I don't know where Bombay is, though, so surely not Siberia, I exclaimed. It is so cold and grim, and I have a particular fear of bears. Then we would do well to buy first, he replied, refraining from rolling his eyes. I am not making a good impression on this man. There are other alternatives. We may also travel overland and across the Black and Caspian Sea. But which is fastest, but which is safest? I'm trying to get a gauge for fogs, goals in this. Probably money. So I'm gonna ask which is fastest. But which is fastest? I believe he said that is what we shall put to the test. Parbleu, I scarcely knew what to think. We arrived at Paris Gare du Nord just after 1 o'clock. Automated porters lifted our luggage and then our persons onto the platform with long, delicately filigreed iron arms. Paris, city of my heart. I was not home, but not to say. New routes discovered. This is already day 2. Oh my gosh, we only have 78 days to travel the world. Oh, Bombay is in India. I now see with my new routes discovered. Oh my gosh. Oh wait, we might have to travel through Russia. I'm not gonna lie, because I would take us through most of the world. All right, we are in Paris. The evening jacket could earn us well here. We have to explore Paris to find an onward journey. So let's go to the market real quick. The minutes pass by like crazy. What the freak? Oh my gosh. Shaving kit. Ooh. Oh, I have to get an extra suitcase. What's it do? I don't know. Alright, can I buy this stuff? Alright, we're gonna get this. I got that, right? Yes. Alright, can't go to the bank. We had a few hours to spare. I asked Monsieur Fogg if I might enjoy the city before we had to leave. Indeed, and should you learn anything of note, be sure to relay it. I nodded and headed into town. The talk on the street was of one thing, an enormous, elegant oval stadium constructed on the green fields of Champ de Mars and containing the technological marvels, art, amusement parks, and milling crowds of the World's Fair of 1872. Also, sorry, I need to grab my computer charger real quick. My stage still wore the scars of last year's siege. I ventured inside, but I was certain Monsieur Fogg did not intend me to visit fairs. I'm going to venture inside. I ventured. Oh, I got an achievement. Okay, so I ventured inside the grand illuminated pavilions of the exposition. An artificer was replacing an arc light. I went west towards an airship hangar. I'll go to the artificer. An artificer was placing an arc light which had burned out. She first disconnected the strange machine powering the lights. It had a spinning iron wheel, which was wound around a series of armature coils. What is that device? I merely watched, politely not wanting to say a word. I'm going to ask her. What is that device? I asked politely, my eyes stained to the copper lily pin, which proclaimed her profession. It's a bleeding nuisance, is what it is. The artificer grumbled, a thick Yorkish accent. These ground machines are finicky beasts. Ground machines? Is that so? I have often found that to be the case. I'm going to ask what ground machines are. Ground machines, I inquire. Oh, well, it's... Oh, never mind. She waved my question away. It's a steam engine, all right. Only it doesn't make steam. What will that do? I hate explaining this stuff to laymen. I retreated hastily, not at all in terror of her irate tone. The harshness of her tone was belayed by her gentle touch. What? What do you mean gentle touch? I don't want to retreat. The harshness of her tone was belied by her gentle touch as she unscrewed the arc's like globe to enamel glass and replaced 2 carbon rods with it. She reconnected the supply and 10 Yablokov. There's some words I don't know how to pronounce. I'm sorry. The 10 Yablokov candles connected to in series lit up once more. They were miraculous. Will the streets be lit with electricity soon? I will say they were miraculous. They are miraculous, I believe. I breathed. The artificer snorted. They are hard work is what they are. Miracles indeed. But her mouth softened into a smile. Proud smile. She looked at her pocket watch and cursed and hurried off, dropping something as she went. Ooh, do I pocket it or do I don't want to be a dick. I'm going to return to her. I hurried to return her. She thanked me. My medallion. I needed that to get my lunch from the canteen. Thank you. I bowed in return. And she giggled. Stop that. You'll make me blush. She rubbed the coin thoughtfully. I was given this for my work in Istanbul, you know. It's very special automaton. I think it works as a driver now on the route from Izmir. I think that's right. There's some words that I don't like. What is an automaton? I made a very special automaton. I think it works as a driver now on the road from Izmir. An automaton who can drive? Of course. Is that so strange? I could only shrug. Who knows what is normal in this modern world? I looked about me once more. Should I I'm gonna screenshot this just to make sure. Yeah. An honest student could drive, of course. Is that so strange? I can only shrug. Who knows what is normal in this modern world? I looked about me once more. Avenues sprawl in every direction between inviting illuminated pavilions of the exposition. I headed toward the red purple tents. I took a stroll. But this was all too much. What do I want? I'm going to take a stroll down the Avenue of Nations, lined with buildings and styles of the nation's world and manned by foreign delegates in national dress, although a newly formed German empire was a conspicuous absentee. Although a new formerly German empire was conspicuous absentee in the city that had so recently conquered. Apologies. The Austro-Hungarian delegation has built a replica village. All right, let's go down. The Austrian-Hungarian delegation was being harangued by an artificer. Who looked at me like a farm boy from province. The artificer was pointing at one of the soldiers guarding the doorway and shouting in terrible German. Verboten, verboten. I peered at this. I'm going to say, what is the matter here? What is the matter here? I asked the artificer. and he rounded on me. "These Austrian Hungarians," he raged in a peasant accented French. "How dare they?" And I said, "What do they dare?" The artificer pointed that. The soldier by the stand moved suddenly, with a mechanical judder, and realized that he was no man at all, but rather an automaton, with an enamel-painted uniform and a pured face. The artificer cursed. "These Austro-Hungarians have brought their automated soldiers to Paris, even the war machines are expressly forbidden by the guild. Who knows what danger they might represent?" I turned away hurriedly. Cacciator's jolted and heaved past her eyes wide with wonder. I turned away hurriedly. Okay, I head towards the. Let's go to the Artificers Guild. I headed towards the red and purple tents of the Artificers Guild, draped with banners and emblazoned with copper lily sigil. Its steam-powered automated orchestra. It had the most incredible display of machines, as though a scrapyard had only been brought to playful life. One of the artificers, knowing the guild's credo to a group of sticky-fingered children, had his hands deep inside a human sheep. Let's go to the one that has. One of the artificers had his hands deep inside a human-shaped automaton, rummaging through its clockwork innards. He took out a piece of engraved glass and peered at it with a jeweler's loupe. "Dashed thing," he cursed in upper English tones, and then looked up. "Oh, hello." I didn't mean to interrupt, I said politely. "Nonsense, young man," he waved the glass shard dismissively. "I'm trying to build an automaton that can cook, you see, but it's not going very well." He looked mournful. "This one can't even fry a chip." How long have you been trying?" I asked. "It's been a dream of mine ever since I was a young lad at boarding school, which is why I became an artificer." The wistfully tone dropped into horror. "The things old Miss Parsons could do to a cabbage, the tender stomachs of Britain's youth would be much safer in mechanical hands." Unless, do you cook yourself? Not a jot." The artificer replied, fully cheered, and then stroked his mustache. "Do you suppose that that's a fly in the ointment?" He thumped me on the back. "Good thought, old chap. Perhaps I'll go and find myself a cook to model my automaton upon." The artificer smiled. I wished him well in his culinary endeavors. He was at least in the right city to find a cook. I returned to the central of my expedition, ears ringing in bombastic tunes of the steam orchestra. My feet were tiring, and the hour was growing late. I returned to Monsieur Fogg, who was eating a meal of plain boiled beef. Something French I'm not going to say. A boiled beef. "Did you enjoy the exposition?" my master inquired. As I thought My master inquired differently. As I was on. And I nodded. Nothing else could possibly impress me now. I said, "We're unspeakably lucky to live in such an age of invention," I declared. "It will certainly make it easier to win my wager," Mr. Fogg replied mildly. "I dreamed that night of mechanical wonders and automatons. I think it's automatons. Automatons. Yeah, I would keep saying like automatons. It's automatons, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, apologies for that. I dreamed that night of mechanical wonders and automatons with beautifully enameled faces, knowing little of the strange inventions and stranger peoples I had encountered on my journey around the world." All right, I might go. All right, where are we going next? I'm thinking we should just go to Munich. Or wait. Oh, oops. Let's go to Amsterdam. Oh, wait. Good. Oh my gosh. I'm so bad at this. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. So, go hotel. Day 3. We took a hotel for the night. We will be comfortable here, Monsieur Fogg remarked, but traveling overnight will often be more efficient. So we must board the longest journeys available. Perhaps, he replied, a short answer indicating that one-day journeys might often be more flexible and the timing could allow for more connections. Still, the surrounds of the Hotel Ritz were most enjoyable. We're going to Munich. Alright. What? Maybe we're not going to Munich. This is difficult. Okay, let's go. We're going to Munich. I made my decision. Boarding the Orient Express was altogether calmer affair than our race through London had been. Mechanical porters loaded us through the windows and snapped them shut with a very delicate click. The train was very beautiful, a jewel of both European design and European diplomacy, with Compagnie International West de Wagons, having persuaded several envious empires to be linked together by the train line. It was uniquely placed to sweep us across Europe. It was one of the many modern dilemmas that had led Monsieur Fogg's wager, of course, so it was no coincidence that we should be aboard. The long last whistle blew and we began our journey east. So we're going to converse. Greetings, monsieur. Can I help you at all, monsieur? I'm the guard on this train. Pray, tell me about Munich. Munich is doing very well these days, I hear. We're going to do Munich to Vienna. Is it possible to go from Munich to Vienna? Indeed, one can travel in private car from Munich to Vienna, but the journey is a tiring one. Where's Budapest? Can one travel from Vienna to Budapest? Let's just say that merchants in Moscow will pay a fantastic amount for staying in Budapest. But tell me, the Orient Express is a fine train, is it not? Let me take a picture of this because I feel like it might be important. Indeed, it is the finest. I'm proud to serve aboard her. Let me tell you. Let's ask about Budapest. What else do you know about Budapest? That is beyond my remit, monsieur. Also, no. Long cloaks. Most generous. Tell me more about Munich. I cannot possibly tell you anything about that. What do you mean? We are literally going to Munich. Is it rough from you? Let's just say there is neither bank nor market. Okay, that's good advice. Run Nice. I have to go. Goodbye. My master wished to be undisturbed, so as we left Paris, I left him and went to explore the train. There was a delightful dining car and an observation deck formed by the replacement of an entire compartment with an opening glass cube. I attended the dining car and found a few groups of people talking quietly. I'm not going to eavesdrop, even though in real life it's totally something I would do. Sat with a young composer. Let's join a pair of young Paris ladies who were toasting their adventure away from France. They were going to Vienna to hear a concert by the Great Steam Orchestra here. I only hope we will be allowed to leave, one confided. Because of the political situation, I asked. The girl whose name I learned was Isabel Porter nodded. Papa says the emperor is spoiling for war. And her friend agreed. Remember Belgrade? The moon fell somber. I tried to lift their spirits by telling them of our journey and about my master had made. Both girls opened wide. Around the whole world, one deemed. You will get lost, the other agreed. And I'll say, so far as we head east, we cannot get lost, I answered romantically. The girls giggled and replied, man, I'm like kind of a player. Not actually, but like I'm kind of a flirt. So as we headed east, we cannot get lost, I answered romantically. The girls giggled and replied. We passed for another hour discussing what we knew of Music City and to which they were headed. Isabel seemed certain it was connected to both Venice and Budapest by good roads. Isabel seemed to Venice and Budapest. I could hardly wait to inform my master of this news. The more options we had, the better. I finished my cognac and then returned to Mr. Fogg, who took by surprise, looked up from his paper. What did you learn? He inquired. Their roads from Vienna to Budapest and Venice, I declared cheerfully. Monsieur Fogg nodded with approval. Very good, he said. I see you will be most useful. High praise indeed. We arrived in Munich a few hours later. Relations with Mr. Fogg have improved slightly. Yeah, because I'm not being as much for the little asshat. Alright, once we get... What time is it? I think once we're getting to Munich, traveling cloaks should be quite valuable here. Alright, I think I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna plan and then I'm gonna pause here. 4 days. All right. Can I save my game and leave? Yeah. Last save in Munich, day 3 at 10 p.m. All right, cool. That is where I will end my game now, then. All right. Well, that was really fun. I already like this game a lot better than Edith's Bench ever made me just like enjoyable for something. No, I really like this. I like the way it's like set up and everything. It just reads like a story, just like an interactive story. It's like one of those books that you would maybe read as a kid where it's like has like multiple endings that you can pick. So kind of like based on what you pick, like it'll determine different outcomes. I really enjoy that. I like this game so far. Yeah, I don't know. I really enjoy it. It would be cool if there were like more graphics and stuff to kind of show you what you're doing. But again, since it's more book-like, you're kind of like imagining the stuff in your head, which is also equally as interesting. But yeah, overall, I'm really enjoying it. I really like this, like the start of this game. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you for my second gaming channel.